This week in CHYS 1F90, we're focusing on critical thinking and writing. Today I'll discuss Katie Kimball's TED Talk, What If Kids Never Build Critical Thinking Skills? This talk stood out to me because it explores how critical thinking shapes childhood development and how we, as educators and caregivers, can foster this essential skill. I'll summarize Kimball's key points, connect them to our course concepts, and reflect on what I've learned and why it matters for child and youth studies. Who is Katie Kimball? Katie Kimball is an educator, author, and advocate for children's development. She founded Kids Cook Real Food and Kitchen Stewardship, emphasizing life skills like cooking and problem solving. In her TED Talk, she highlights the consequences of neglecting critical thinking in children and the role of parents and educators in shaping independent thinkers. Now, why is critical thinking important? Well, it's important because critical thinking helps us navigate challenges, make decisions, and solve problems, skills essential for both children and adults. To navigate challenges, a critical thinker would not react impulsively, assess obstacles, weigh solutions, and make informed choices. Making decisions would require gathering information, evaluating options, and thinking rationally rather than relying on emotions and external influences. Problem solving relies on the ability to break down complex issues, identifying patterns, and develop well-reasoned solutions. Kimball discusses how today's technology-driven world makes kids passive consumers of information, limiting their ability to think independently. She offers us 3 strategies to foster critical thinking. Fostering curiosity, which is encouraging deep questioning and exploration. Promoting adaptability, which is helping kids adjust their thinking when faced with new information, and building resilience, which is teaching them to handle setbacks and problem solve effectively. By implementing these strategies, we equip children to think critically and navigate an increasingly complex world. Katie Kimball's TED Talk aligns closely with many of the key ideas we've explored in CHYS 1F90. One significant connection is the importance of critical thinking and writing skills in our academic journey. As students, these skills are essential for analyzing readings, constructing strong argument in our essays, and engaging deeply with course materials. Without critical thinking, we would struggle to develop coherent and impactful ideas in our assignments, such as our term papers. Beyond this, critical thinking is foundational for future careers, especially for those of us pursuing roles as educators, caregivers, or professionals working with children and youth. Many modern jobs require adaptability, problem solving, and independent decision making, all of which depend on the critical thinking skills Katie highlights. In CHYS 1F90, we've discussed how society influences childhood development, and fostering critical thinking is one way to prepare children for future societal demands. Katie also emphasizes a profound benefit of critical thinking. It improves well-being. This ties into our role as caregivers, where our primary goal is to ensure children's holistic well-being. When children learn to think critically, they gain confidence, resilience, and the ability to navigate challenges, all of which contribute to better mental health and emotional stability. Ultimately, as Kimball argues, fostering critical thinking is not just about academic success. It's about equipping children with the tools they need to thrive in life. In CHYS 1F90, we've seen how small interventions during childhood can have a lasting impact, and critical thinking is one of the most vital skills we can teach to promote both individual and societal well-being. What I've learned from Katie Kimball TED Talk is how foundational critical thinking is, not just for academic success, but for navigating life as a whole. One point that really resonated with me is how critical thinking directly improves well-being. Katie explained that when kids are taught to think critically, they become more adaptable, resilient, and confident in their ability to face challenges. As someone studying child and youth development, I find this incredibly relevant because it reinforces the importance of teaching skills that go beyond academics and contribute to long-term mental health and happiness. I also learned that fostering critical thinking is essential for preparing children for the future. In our increasingly complex world, they need the ability to question, analyze, and problem solve, not just absorb information passively. Katie's talk helped me see that by cultivating these skills early, we're not just teaching children how to think, but giving them the tools to succeed in future careers and relationships. This talk also made me reflect on my role as a future educator or caregiver. I realized that one of my biggest responsibilities is to create environments where children can safely explore ideas, make mistakes, and learn through experience. When we focus on building critical thinking skills, we're not just helping children develop academically, we're helping them grow as well-rounded individuals. Overall, this TED Talk gave me a deeper appreciation for the impact of critical thinking on child development and well-being. It also challenged me to think about how I can encourage these skills in my own future practice and how I can integrate them into my own academic and professional goals. And now I have a skit to demonstrate what critical thinking looks like. On the right, we have Ego Eric, who is confident and a little bit too confident. He doesn't stop to assess the danger. Instead, he assumes he's strong enough to outrun or outswim any crocodile that comes his way. Without thinking twice, he jumps straight into the water and immediately regrets it. The crocodiles notice him and start moving towards him, and he barely scrambles back to shore before becoming their next meal. Meanwhile, critical Cassie takes a different approach. She observes the situation and looks for a safer alternative. She notices a large log nearby and thinks, crocodiles are easily startled by loud, unexpected noises. Maybe I can use that to my advantage. So, she pushes the log into the water with a loud thud. The sound scares the crocodiles away, clearing a safe path for her to cross. With the danger gone, she walks across the river with ease, while Ego Eric, soaked and embarrassed, realizes he should have thought things through. This scene highlights the importance of critical thinking. While Ego Eric relied on impulse and overconfidence, critical Cassie took time to analyze the problem, consider potential risks, and find a smart solution. In the end, her approach was not only safer, but more effective. Now, a question for everyone to think about is, do you think critical thinking should be explicitly taught in schools, or is it something that should be developed organically through experiences? Why or why not?